All right. Well, boy, what a day. Crazy momentum. HKD went up over 20,000% over the last 2 weeks. What a move. What a move. I haven't seen something like this. And I've been trading for a long time. I have just never seen something go up this much. This is the ultimate recent IPO breakout. We will be adding it into the classes. I have an entire chapter dedicated to recent IPO breakouts. This is not totally unfamiliar. LMPX, let's just look at this. This was a recent IPO that we traded back in 2019. Pretty impressive at the time. We thought this was phenomenal, from $5 to $45. HKD blew that one out of the water, all the way up to a high of $255.30. It's almost unthinkable. And I think it probably warrants a conversation on how it could even happen. But in the meantime, it looks like there may be a little bit of momentum on a couple other stocks. So let's just watch and see. Starter there for me on MTC, watching over 515. So MTC, this one is one that has been strong today. So let's watch this over 515, 525 for squeezing the close. I've been trading pretty much all day. My new order is at 512 on MTC. Watching the break. As soon as we break 510, I'm going to look to add for the squeeze up to 525. So we have had some. Hey, can you be quiet? No. Not right now. Not right now. So the high on this is 514. I was looking for power hour squeezes into the close. Added right there 510. Adding 520. Next add 535. Now looking for the squeeze up to 550, right? Let's watch this acceleration here up to 550, and let's see if we get a move up towards $6. Next add is 35 and then 45. Adding right there at 35. Next add is 45. We're looking to ride that momentum, accelerating higher. My back of mind target is a move up to 6. Watching up here at 545. Looking for the add. High of this candle right now is 542, added right there 539. Now we're looking for the break of 545 and the squeeze up to 550. I love seeing this kind of momentum. I mean, this is what we look for. And these squeezes into the close can be so strong. So if we can get over 550, then we're looking for a move up to $6. Buying the dip right here at 29. Now looking for the squeeze through 535, then 540. There's 536. Watch the pop over 540. There's 545. There's 548. Adding at 47. Now looking for the squeeze up to 550. 565, 570. Phenomenal. Nice action. Added at 558. New order 565. Looking to keep riding this momentum. Added at 565. There's 575. All right, adding at 572. Now looking for a squeeze up to 6. Some power hour momentum here. Can't complain about this at all. Watching right now, adding at 61 to buy the dip. Now looking for the push through 75 and 80. I'd like to see the move up to 668. That's my target, 668. Holding 3,000 shares. Watching a dip. Bought the dip at 55. Now looking for the pop back up to 65.70. See if we can snap through that level. Flat for right now. A nice $4,000 winner on MTC here. Watching dips. Nice dip there. I just missed it. 529. So MTC, I wasn't sure I was going to trade, but golly, we've got some action. Dip at 40. Added right there. Looking for the pop back up to 55. Starting with 1,000 shares on the dips. There's 55. Nice. 64. Good. 70. Added. There you go. Look at that. Squeeze up to 6. Adding at 95. Next add 610. We still have that target on this of 668. Added right there, 608. Now looking for 620. This is parabolic momentum here. Added 618. There's 645. Next adds 35 and then 45. Watching. Added at 30. Now looking for 48. There's 48. Capturing the profit as it goes higher. We're coming into resistance here, but boy, some early short sellers getting squeezed out. Phenomenal price action. There's a move all the way to $7.12, $7.40. Scaling out a little more profit on the way up here. Now looking for a pullback. High of this candle, 745. Watching dips. Put an order on the bid at 751. It did not fill. What a break there of 578. So we broke through the 200. Dip trade long at 63. Looking for the pop back up over 7. Average is 56. Watching back over 87, 88. Added at 76 again, looking for the squeeze back up over 7. Flat at 61. Watching dips. Oh my goodness. What a nice way to come into the close. Duo on scans. I'll take a long on Duo there. The halt level is 45. Let's see if Duo can get over 4. I added at 60. Next add would be 75 and 85 on Duo. Watching, added at 77 on Duo. Now looking for the breakthrough, $4. Let's see if we break through 4. Duo on the high day Momo scanner. By the way, these scanners are how I'm finding stocks in real time. Added at 85 on Duo. Now looking for the trade over 4. Holding 400 shares. There's $4 on the ask. That's profit. Added back at 4. Now looking for a squeeze up to 450. Watch over 410, 425. Let's see if Duo wants to pull away. Average is 97. There's 402. Nice 416. Watching over 417. Still watching MTC. MTC pulling back a bit. Added at 95 to buy a dip on MTC. Trying to buy the dip there off of 6. Nice. 617 on MTC. Watching Duo back over 4. So watching both of these right here. Flat the rest of Duo. 500 shares. And the high there, golly. So MTC, little surge of momentum here into the close. Duo watching to add back. Does anyone see anything else that I'm missing? MTC. So nice squeezes into the close there. So grateful for those trades. Now AMTD, you know, this was the one that I did so well on this morning. Was up 10,000 on AMTD, but I ended up giving back, you know, well, I'm up 3,700 on it. So I gave back about 6,000 on AMTD. It squeezed there up to 1440, did really well. And then we had some chop on it and a really interesting disconnect between HKD and AMTD. They were very connected, and then they started to disconnect, which was a bit odd. But good job for those you guys. I saw Jess up 28,000 today. I saw Manoli was up 65,000 from yesterday on AMTD or something like that. So some of you guys are stepping up to the plate and crushing it, and I'm really happy for you. So good job. As always, trading is risky. My results are not typical. Neither are the results of anyone that's, I suppose, profitable. Brian says he's up 13,000 today. Danny says he's up 1,800. Steven said he just made 900 on MTC. Good job. Good work. Byron up 200. Green is good, right? So we've got 9 minutes to the closing bell, and then assuming we don't get any real parabolic momentum that closes at the high, MTC just like that to me just looks like it squeezed out a short seller. It just, you got that power squeeze, power hour move. Wick reclaim would be if we get back up to 7. So let's watch it. I added back at 61, just 1,000 shares to start to test the water. Let's see if it breaks over 75 and 85. So there's 64 on the ask. On MTC as it's rallying back up, watching over 68, that psychological level to pull away. Added right there, bought the dip, trying to buy that bottoming tail candle for the pop back up. We've got 635 on the ask. Watching back over 650. My fill was $6.15 on that dip. It's a nice dip trade. Watching now back over 650. We're setting up a bit of a sloppy ABCD pattern. Pull back, pop up, pull back. With only about 7 minutes to the close. I'll go flat on it for now at 23. Take a small loss. I can always add back if it comes back up. Let's see. So let's look at after that flurry of some live trading, which I wasn't quite expecting, but thank you to the scanners. By the way, if you'd like access to these scanners, those who are going to watch this as a recap on YouTube, I'll put the link right here. We have opened, let's see, there we go. We have opened enrollment for 1 level of membership right now. And we're doing email only. So we're emailing the link for you guys to register if you'd like. Chris, you know, that's a really good recovery, man. And you've traded 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 stocks. Peter finishing up 1,400. Nice. Lou, you're up 6,400. Nice. Very good. I'm proud of you guys. That's great. Nice job, David. 375. That's good, right? That's green. That pays the bills. Vern, 1,900. Good job. So we got some volatility there, that's for sure. All right, so let's look at HKD, 20,000%. So how does this even happen? Well, there's a couple things going on here. As we've learned, this is the owner of this company is AMTD. AMTD Digital, and then AMTD right here. So this stock had a huge move from $2 all the way up to 14. But here's the problem. So I guess I think they own 14 million shares. I think that's what I read, 14 million shares. So just think about this for a second. 14 million shares of HKD. Holy moly. Let's do the math. I think I'm going to need, let's see. Let me do the math for you. Oh, look at this, MDJH. We're just watching MDJH. I'll buy 1,000 shares of it, just 1,000 to start. Are we?
Yeah.
Okay, watching over 35 and 37. There's 37, there's 38. Seems kind of sluggish. I'm flat on it. Did I make money? $12. I'll help you with that a little bit later, bud. So let's see. All right. So 14 million shares. Is that 14 million? Let's see. 14 million shares times a stock price of $2,500 per share. That's dollars. Equals sum. Holy moly! Good golly, that's a big number. That is a big number. It's not 35,000. It's not 35 million. It's 35 billion. That's a big number. Here's the problem. And this is the very real problem. And this is why I think AMTD is actually pulling back. The reality is, let's look at how much volume traded today. 344,000 shares. They're not going to be able to sell 14 million shares at $250 or $2,500 a share. It's just not going to happen. So this is a scenario where there's a huge unrealized profit, but it's unrealized. Added back on MTC, watching for a squeeze into the close. Next level is 15. Added there. Now looking for the squeeze, power squeeze on this power hour. Watch over 25, 35, 45. Added there 44. Now looking for the squeeze up to $8. Watching over 75. Added at 66 and profit at 74. Added at 80. Now looking for squeeze profit up over $8. Watching the level 2, holding 1,000 shares. Bought the dip at 58. Dip trade. We've got 2 minutes to the close, and I'm going to be watching MTC for a trade into after hours. Added at 30. Buying the dip off the pullback and looking for the curl through 60, 70. I want to see the retrace up to 8. We're up 350%. So watching right here, dip on the 10-second chart. Added at 29. Now looking for the pop back up over 55. There's 50. Watch over 65 and 70. This is a wick reclaim. High of this current candle is 85. I'm looking for the break of 85 and a squeeze over $8. If we can break over 8, I want to look for a squeeze up to 9. Looking to keep adding on this over 65 and 70. Added at 55. Now looking for 65. There you go. Can we get the move up to 70? Holding 900 shares. Added at 80. Can we get that squeeze through 8? There's 805, 813. Very nice. That's an opportunity to book some profit. High of this candle is 829. We are going into the close. Seller comes in at 75. Flat on the rest of the position. Watching level 2. So as we come into the close, we'll watch this. So I always have the level 2s up. So when I see something starting to rip, added at 71, I want to see if this pops right back up over $8. There's 75. So now watch back over 8. We're now into after hours trading. Watching the add for the squeeze back through $8. Holding 941 shares. Added at 41. Looking for the break over 787. Excuse me, that's very loud. More tire connectors. Watch over 78. So what typically happens going into after hours is we see this sort of slowdown and then we get the surge. So we'll see whether or not we get that today. Added at 79, there's 8. Now looking for 825. Holding 900 shares. Flat on the rest of the trade. Okay, so we'll see whether or not either of these start to open up a little bit more. The first couple minutes going into after hours, we usually see this pullback. If we look at MGAM from the other day, hang on one second. Turn that down a little bit. Cause see how the light flickers? There's something wrong with it. Just leave it. Don't play with it because I'm afraid it'll break. See how it's flickering? Turn it down a little bit more. Thank you. Turn it down more. More? A little bit more? A little bit? Oh, yeah, that's perfect. Here you go. Okay. So MGAM the other day went into after hours, if you recall. And was it this day? Yeah, so we dipped the first 5-minute candle, we dipped, and then we got that power through the high up to 15. So I keep, just because the first 5 minutes is a little slow, I just keep it on watch and we'll see. But anyways, nice moves there. We are over the 200. We'll see if that carries into tomorrow. So the problem with HKD is that although the company that owns the majority of the shares is up a lot unrealized, they're not going to be able to sell it. I mean, they'd have to find someone to buy it from them, right? So finding someone to buy those shares, it just doesn't make sense. It's almost like an anomaly in the market. It's like a glitch, but it's very real. And there are people who went short, and I'm sure there's brokers out there that sold shares to the short side. I'm sure there's market makers that sold shares to the short side, and are that are losing a tremendous amount of money. I mean, even 10,000 shares, like it doesn't have to be a lot of money or a lot of shares to be getting destroyed. There's a nice after hour squeeze on BQ. Nice, good job. So nice move there on that one up to 370. So that's good to see. Kind of missed it. TNON, another one hitting the scans up to 283 after hours move. MTC, I agree. Trigger around 750. Your nice added back there, small size. Big came up in the level 2. 35,000 share buyer. So let's watch MTC adding there. Now looking for the squeeze up to 815, 825. So the high of this candle on MTC is 810. 810 adding. Now looking for a squeeze up to 835, 840. Can we get 850? There's 825. Next adds 825. So looking to just ride this momentum on MTC. I want to see if we get through 850. But it's pulling back just a smidge there, so flat on the trade. 75, 77. Double top around 29, needed to break that level. New order will be at 829. So we've definitely gotten some sympathy. Look at that. See that squeeze? Okay, now let's watch over 850. So bought the dip. Now looking for the squeeze through 850 and then move up to 9. So this is where more traders are coming in. Adding at 875. Now we're going to look for this surge up through $9. This is moving, and it's moving very quickly. So this is what we like to see. Watch over this level of 77 for a squeeze up to 9, and we'll see if any short sellers end up covering into that move, because we could get a nice surge. There's really not any clear resistance on this one, so we do have a lot of room. Watching over 65.70. New order. Watching to add. Added right there at 41. Now looking for 55 and 65. I want to see this break through the highs and go over 70. Let's see if this thing wants to squeeze up to $9. Watching the ad on these dips. 29 was our previous breakout spot. So let's look to see if we can get through that level. This right now is a 1 minute pullback. Adding on the dip here. Looking for the curl through 65. I like buying up these pullbacks. First 1 minute candle to make a new high. Now watch over 75. Yeah, it's pulling back too much. Whatever. So I'm gonna stop trading here. I think I gave back like $2,000 on those last couple trades. I keep thinking it's gonna extend. It kind of pulls back. So had a loss on it, like right, where was it? Right here. Sized up for 29. Stopped out there. Got back in right here. Added. Stopped out on that red candle. So I'm just gonna cut losses if it's not really ripping. But in any case. I'm hoping that we see continuation on this into tomorrow. The problem is we probably won't. We'll probably have something different that we'll be looking at. So in any case, yesterday we had LRTPB, we had QRTEB. These gave us some great opportunities, and then today they gave us some opportunities, but not as much. Today things shifted. We had big momentum on APDN. Nice moves on APDN. The problem with this one, a lot of halts. The halt levels were pretty close together, so a lot of halts on APDN, but some nice action on it. AMTD, obviously earlier, we had some really good action pre-market, but once the bell rang, what it was interesting to me, and I kind of called this out, was a huge amount of selling. Big sell orders going through. And, you had that candle right there, it popped up, dropped down, just tons of sell orders. And so even though HKD was going higher, HKD went higher, but AMTD did not. They started to disconnect there. And so when that happened, I was like, no, I don't think I can trust it anymore. And I fell into the trap. I did go back for it, and I gave back some of my gains on it, which I'm a little bit bummed out about. But, at the end of the day, I'm certainly finishing in good shape and just captured some nice profit on MTC, so really can't complain. AIU hitting the scanners here. Again, this is what starts to happen. We start to get these really big, kind of exaggerated sympathy momentum moves. Everything that starts to pop up continues for a bit, but we also saw some pretty nasty rejections today. MHUA halted up 3 times or so in a row, and then came all the way back down. You can see on the 5 minute. Up, down, up, down. This was very hard. This would have been very hard to trade. CH, what was it? Now I can't remember. CHWA. This one did something similar. It popped up, it halted up, went to 13, then came right back down. So a lot of these were probably better opportunities to the short side. These stocks didn't really make a lot of sense to be up. Not that MTC does either. But we just had so many that were popping but not holding. It was like pop, drop, pop, drop, pop, drop. And we weren't seeing that really strong continuation. I was hoping this afternoon to see something like QRTEB, but we didn't have something that was super obvious except for MTC, which was good. But you saw me trade it. I mean, it was good, but it wasn't amazing. MDAI, another one that some traders have been watching. There was some action on it the other day. Today it was mostly pulling back. So we're in a little bit of a kind of a cycle here where you're seeing this momentum on a lot of these small cap stocks, especially Asian companies, and they're giving you opportunities. Within volatility is opportunity, but you've got to be quick. Fortunately today, for the most part, I was able to keep how red I went on any individual stock very minimal. I traded a lot of stocks today. I did go red on 5 of them, but those losses were small. The biggest loss was on AMTD. And so on AMTD, to recap that trade, this one got me pretty frustrated, to be honest. I had this trade on it right in this area here. We got a break of VWAP, and I bought right here about 10,000 shares, went in full size, looking for the move up to 10. We got the move to 10. I held the whole thing and then stopped out right here. Okay, so I stopped out. Then, you know, it rips right back up right here. I got back in, and then, I'm not kidding, I stopped out on that low at 986, only for it to rip up. I then got back in at 1050. It pops up to 11. I added here, average was 75, and I stopped out again. And that's when I was like, wow, I am trading this really badly. I'm not dialed in. MDAI, bought 1,000 shares of it to ride the momentum. You know, again, you're seeing this small cap momentum. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but holding 288 now. Look at that. That's crazy. All the way up to $6, $6.70. So, you know, we're just seeing this crazy momentum on these. My average is 481. That's 7 on the ask, 707. You know, I don't know what to say. These are hitting the scanners, and there's some good opportunities here. Half dollars and whole dollars are the levels that I watch, but, you know, the risk is high. So that just hit 7. You know, I would think that short sellers are probably watching these types of stocks to short the ride back down, but at the same time, they may be a little cautious because, well, look at MTC. Look at how high some of these have gone. So the high there was 7. Typically, I would say new order, watch for the break of 7. I don't even know if that's a good idea on this one, but that's typically what I would be looking at. So there's 675. Watching the level 2 on it. Added there at 75. Actually, my order didn't go through. My order was rejected. There's up to 707. So it's a nice setup there, but my order didn't get filled. Sold the rest at 694 for now. Your high is 709. New order at 710. So when we get these kinds of markets, these can be really hard for a lot of beginner traders because things are just so volatile. You know, in a matter of seconds, you're seeing like 30, 40% moves. On the other hand, if you can be disciplined and you can get good entries, then there's a lot of opportunity in these markets. So it's, you know, LTRPB, I saw some traders take some trades on this morning from 65 here up to 90. That was a high risk trade. It worked, but that's a high risk trade, especially with big spreads. Anyone who traded HKD today, you know, even with just like 1 or 2 shares, huge range, but, you know, hard to manage risk. And some of these others that popped up, LNFA, you know, this one's back up at 15. You know, I mean, this is another one of these stocks that has made some big moves. So you can see the high there is 1498. These just keep squeezing, and the high today was 1573. So that one had a nice move. APGN. This one was pretty much pulling back today. We didn't actually get much action on this one today, but you know, some of them we get action on, some of them we don't. For the most part, I'm watching the scanners. The only problem is that by the time I'm seeing these, they're already fairly extended. So I'm buying high and I have to sell higher, right? I have to get out quick because I'm buying high. So buy high, sell higher, that works, but you can't just hold on to them if they're not added back there on MDIA. Now looking for the squeeze through 710. So new orders at 720. Watch added right there. Now looking for 750, and let's see if we get to move up to $8. So this is the first 1 minute pullback. There you go. There's 75. That's a little bit of a profit opportunity. Let's see if it goes the rest of the way up to 8. 70, 84 on the ask. There's 826. 835. Right? So this setup, by the way, was a break of high a day. So that was a high a day break on MDIA. High right now is 850. Added back 850. Now looking for the move up to 9. There's 89. 88. Added at 88. Now looking for the squeeze up to $9 on MDIA. 915, 920. Just small gains. I'm holding 400 shares right now. Like, I'm happy to trade it. I can't really make a ton of money on it. Spreads are crazy. So now you're coming into extension. High is 946. You can see 10 and 1040 on the level 2, not that far away. High is 946. My average is 863. Up 160%. Flat on the rest of the position. Watching for the next setup. We'll see if it holds. So today I've traded 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 different stocks. PYPL. So large cap, PayPal earnings, I imagine. Let's see. Not sure. MDAI added back. Now looking for the squeeze up towards 10. Watch over 950. New order 975. Watching. Added right there for the break of 10. Now looking for 1020. 1050 maybe. Flat 47, 800 shares. Watching for a dip. Watching the pullback. Added at 21, 26 to buy the dip for the pop back up to 60. Nice dip. Profit at 56, holding 250 shares. There's 99. Added back at 10. There's 1065. So this is probably going to be on our scans, also for after hours leaders. Added at 1040, now looking for 1075. There's 11. Watching for an add over 11. Parabolic momentum as short sellers get squeezed out. Watching up here, 75 added right there for the break of 11. So there's 11 on the ask, now looking for 1125, 1150. Flat for now. 1040, gave back a little bit. I think I gave back a little bit. No, actually, probably only like a couple $100. High is 11. MDJH on the scanners again. So after hours top gainers, right? MTC. So you could see how kind of attention shifts on these from sort of one to the next. Whatever's hot, traders get aggressive on, and then when things cool off. So now as MDJH is hitting the scanners, you kind of want to take a look and say, okay, well, is this setting up for a trade? I'll take a long there at 43, right? So I start adding into that level for the move up to 5. It's a cheaper stock. adding at 69, now watching over 75 and 80 on MDJH to see if we get that similar type of follow through that we got. Watching the seller at 80 to get bought up. I'm going to look to add at 80. So 80 right there, added MDJH. Now looking for the squeeze up over 5. Next is 550. There's 550 on the ask for a second. So 590, took some profit. 490, holding 400 shares. Average is 54, added at 63 to buy the dip. There's back up to 80. So you've got 59 between the spread, holding 900 shares. Carve, another one. Still watching MDIA, but it's on a side chart unless it can get back up to 11. Holding 500 shares of MDJH. What was the high on that? 521. I thought I saw 550, but maybe just on the level 2. Yeah, see, I'm only trading with small size on these because the liquidity is not fantastic. It's a little hard to buy and sell. But basically, I'm watching scanners. When something hits the scan, I look for the first entry. Half dollars, whole dollars, right? That's my favorite spot to be buying these. So we've got a pretty Wafu. This is another Chinese stock. Carve. This is a banking stock. No interest in that really. Duo. Let's look back at Duo and see where that one's at. So it went up to 420, pulled back a little bit. MTC is at 609. ILAG. I think this is a day where you could have easily gone green to red to back to green to back to red. I mean, just such huge swings in these stocks. PYPL coming up towards 100. High of that candle is right there. I bought small size PayPal. See if it goes up over $100. This one's up only 12%. $99.70 on the ask. A little profit there. A little slippage on my order. Gives me a 15th ticker for the day. 2, 4, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. We'll see if we can make it 20. APDN, added on APDN for the break of 4. Yep, for sure. I like that setup for retest of the high. Watch over 95, adding there at 90 on APDN, looking for the squeeze through $4. This one, the high of day is 435. So let's see if we get that break through 4. Watching over 95, added at 92 right there. Now looking for 95, 96 on APDN. And I want to catch that break through $4. We've got nice percentage gain on the day. High of this candle right there is 4. If this can get over 4 and we squeeze through 435, that would be really nice. Watch over 395 on APDN. Added there, big buyer on the bid. So a buyer comes out on the bid. I like that. Looking for the break through 95. Flat, buyer disappeared, taking the small loss on it. APDN, where is that? 500. So managing my losses, keeping them really small. I can add back over 95. So, you know, that's kind of the idea for me. If I can take $500 of risk and then it ends up being a great trade, phenomenal. And if not, then I can hit the bid. So MDAI still on watch. As we get further into after hours, usually volume declines. So, you know, we may kind of taper out here. I'm not sure if we keep seeing good continuation. APDN, watch now through 4, added back. Next add on APDN is at 401. And now we're looking for the squeeze. Added at 404 right there for the break of 401. There's 401, adding 403. Now we're looking for 405. Nice. And that swings APDN from red to, well, looks like flat, new order 410. Putting the order at 405. Can it hold over 4? Moment of truth. Added back 404. Yep, it's holding this level. Now look for the squeeze up to 415, 425. Adding 409. Watching the pull away up through 412, 415. So let's see if we can break over 410, 415, and squeeze up to 420. Next add is 412. 50,000 share buyer, adding right there. Looking for shorts to get squeezed over 415, 420. Should have broken harder. Flat for now. New order 415. 50,000 share bid right there. You see it, right? Look at that popping. It pops up to 15 on the ask. That level that we just recognize as being important to break. There's a seller at 15. New order at 20. 50,000 shares still right there on the bid. 25 on the ask, 27 on the ask, 28 on the ask. Up 500%. Added back at 10. Looking for the break through 15. Starter was 3,000 shares. Looking for the squeeze. Bought the dip at 401. Back to flat on it for now. Down only 100 on APDN. Nice. Good job. Good look. Yeah, I like that idea too. PayPal. Nice. Moving higher. Good job. Added back on PayPal. Now looking for the squeeze up to 103. Nice moves. Pretty clean action. Would like to see some bigger green candles as it extends higher. I trade PayPal with smaller size because it's higher priced. Flat, down $10 on it. Watching back over 250. So trading pretty much whatever's moving. Buying things high, looking to sell them higher. So APDN, MDAI. APDN added back there. Now looking for the squeeze through 415 up to 425. So I'm thinking if we break over 415 and we can get back through 420, 435, we'll see a move up to 450. So new order on APDN. There you go. Adding 430. Now look for 445. Adding right there. That's the squeeze up to 450 that I wanted to see. That's exactly what we were looking for. We got it. Was my timing a little off? Oh, maybe. I was a little early. But I'm happy to get back in. Watching this dip to see if it holds this level. New order at 55. High was 60. Watching. Bought the dip at 30. Now looking for the retest of 550. I want to see if it can break over 565. There you go, 560 on the ask. Adding at 560, now looking for 575. Early short sellers on this getting squeezed out. Watch through 560 for a move up to $5. 460, sorry. Added there at 57. Next add is 65 and then 75. Adding at 65, now looking for 75. We're up 582%. Added at 69, so scaling into APDN for that extension higher, looking for the move up to $5. Taking some profit, new order, 75. It's a little extended up here. There's a candle wick that shows 5. I didn't see that. That throws off my chart a little bit. So again on APDN, profit 4,000. Was really only risking about 500 on my first trades on it. High of this candle is 478. PayPal still on watch on a side chart. It's hard to trade multiple stocks. You know, unfortunately at this time of day, you can't use stop at break even because it's after hours. That move on MDAI from 4 to 11 was pretty wild. Only made 2,400 bucks on it. Traded it with small size. And the fact is, buying something like that with 10,000 shares, you'd be risking, well, what was the high? High was 709. The low there was 540. You'd be risking $15,000, $20,000. That's a lot of risk. A lot of risk for 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't think it's probably worth it. I don't mind taking a little risk, but SNOA popping up on the scans. Some news at 4:32. Not sure if we're going to get more on APDN. Kind of wasn't expecting as nice of a move as we got, but I mean, you never know. So pivot right now is 78, 478. Yeah, this would be the right time for a small cap stock to do an IPO after, right on the heels of HKD. SNOA, you know, the thing is, this one's been, every time it pops up, it sells off. See all these red candles? So it's good timing for them that they have the news out on a day like today when the market's so hot. And, you know, right now the market probably doesn't really care that the news might not be phenomenal because it's just so bullish. But I remember this stock and I have a little bit of a bias on it from each one of those big red candles. So I'm going to leave it alone. And maybe I'm leaving some money on the table. But I'd rather leave money on the table than give back my profit to the market. So again, those for tuning in and who are going to watch this as a recap on YouTube, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you hit the thumbs up if you enjoy these recaps. We're getting some long ones right now. I mean, this market calls for it. This is when you have to dig deep. I sat down at 6:45 this morning and I walked away for like an hour and then came back. You know, I had like a lunch break, but grabbed some lunch and whatever, but kept a really close eye on the market, kept a close eye on HKD, was wondering where we might see some sympathy momentum. So we got some nice moves. The only thing I'm really disappointed about is that I gave back as much as I did on AMTD because I feel like I should have known better. It was diverging. Its relationship to HKD was we were having a divergence. And this is actually the same thing that we had with oil. If you remember, we had these, crazy oil stocks like MXC, Mexico Energy Company. This stock went from $14 to $43 a share. During that time, USO was hitting its all-time high, its initial high right here. This was in March. But then USO pulls back hard. All the energy stocks drop too. But USO comes all the way back to new highs. Well, what the heck? Why doesn't MXC make new highs? MXC came back up, but it couldn't make new highs. Why? Well, perhaps because the initial move was so exaggerated that market makers and short sellers and whoever else controls these didn't let it go that high. INDO, same thing. Huge move in March, comes back up. And so what I kind of felt was that AMTD's move in the morning was a little exaggerated, given the fact that this thing that's happened on HKD, while it's great, it's actually probably, to be honest, the people it's probably best for are retail traders like us who can get in and out with smaller positions and potentially make some money on it. Big hedge funds, they're not going to be able to, I don't think, buy a big enough position on it. Maybe they would have shorted it. Maybe some out there did. Someone mentioned a friend who works at a big trading firm and had said that firm banned trading in it. They weren't trading it. So, I think for a lot of people, a lot of big firms, they probably left it alone. And then the insiders who have huge amounts of shares, it's like having huge amounts of money, but you can't spend it. It's makes me think of DB Cooper, right? Didn't they say all those bills were marked, and they never? I don't think they ever got spent. They never showed up in circulation. So he got all this money, but then if he got away with it, who knows what happened? But there's nothing you can do, and that's kind of the problem when you have these unrealized gains. That there's really no way to turn that into true gains, unless you were able to bait enough people to short it. If enough people shorted it and then had to cover, maybe, I don't know. But the fact is the volume's just, I don't even know if this has traded 14 million shares of volume in total since it started trading. It hasn't traded a lot of volume. So this has certainly been a bigger move than GME, although I would say GME's move touched a lot more people. The options chain made it much more tradable. A lot more people were able to participate in it. A lot of big market makers and institutional players were part of GameStop. HKD is just sort of, GameStop is hitting major news networks. You don't hear, I don't know, probably not going to hear Bloomberg talking too much about HDK. Maybe they'll have a little bit of coverage on it, but I sort of doubt it just because it's such an anomaly. It's on such light volume. It almost shows, if you're going to be honest, a flaw in the market making system, that market makers did not adequately make the market for this stock. Sometimes things like this end up bringing around new rounds of policy and regulation because regulators look at this and they're like, this is unsafe for the market. You shouldn't have these types of things that happen. Because what's probably going to happen is a year from now, we're going to look at this chart and it's, comes all the way back down. If we look at history, just to give you a history lesson, let's look at LMPX. What happened after that crazy move? Well, it came all the way back down within a month. Now it did come back up to 44, but now it's back at 5. Look at Duo. This was a stock that made a crazy move on one day and came all the way back down. Look at LTRPB. This LTRPB has now done it 5 times. So, you know what? I guess if anyone wanted to pass some policy or regulation, they could have looked at doing that the first time these things happened. Discovery, what was it? I can't remember the symbol. They might have changed symbols. It doesn't matter, but we'll see what happens. A lot of times we never really know the story behind these. We don't really know. I heard some rumor that there's some short sellers that got short on it and got really, you know, wrecked. They were looking for a move like what we had on VRAX, this big rejection after the IPO, a move like what we had on ILAG. These are, you know, what some people were looking for, that short and, you know, are swing trading short with some big size. And obviously the blow up is, you know, what you see on HKD. There were also some rumors that brokers lent out shares to borrow to let people short, but then the underwriters didn't give them those shares, and so they became naked short. But, you know, there's just all these speculations and rumors, and I usually just take them, all of them, with a grain of salt, because you just don't know. MTC, nice bounce there, very nice. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get back up over 877, but a nice curl. Same with MDAI, a little curl off the low. SNOA still holding up at 40%. APDN at 550%. Phenomenal, crazy. Definitely, to be honest, if we're going to be honest, that was the cleanest move right there from 3 to 5 all day. So after hours was actually a cleaner move. And part of that was because no circuit breaker halts. This thing was halting like every 20, 30 cents today. And that's because, of course, you know, it's a lower price stock, but that can make it difficult to trade when we have that kind of price action where it's just halting and halting and halting. So members of Warrior, members on Day Trade Dash, you've both been able to watch my broadcast today while I've been trading. Today was a day where I put in some extra time and traded later into the day. I'll do it when the market calls for it. And when things are slow, you're going to see me shut it down at 10 a.m. and say, all right, I'll be back tomorrow. I'll take my small base hits when the market's cooler and go do other things. And on days where there's a lot of opportunity, I'm going to try to dig deep. I'm going to try to do the best I can. And I'm happy with my P&L today. I'm happy to see that my losses are all quite small. Green on most stocks I traded. I'm a little disappointed about AMTD, as I've said several times, but I'm still green on it. And I'm now sitting at $28,113.62. That's a good day. That's a great start to the month of August. And this is typically a cold month, but, you know, the market didn't get that message. We've got some real strength here in small caps. I feel like I don't know if it's reasonable to expect it to last a lot longer, but HKD, I suppose, was our sort of catalyst. But, you know, last week we had PGY. Last week was really strong because of this move on PGY, which was a recent IPO or de-SPAC, a special acquisition company merger. And this thing went from $2 all the way up to hit a high today of $34.50. So, you know, I mean, that was what got things started in a way. And then HKD was just another recent, you know, IPO that started to pull away here a little bit on some of these days, but on such light volume, I didn't really think much of it. But yeah, we'll definitely, we'll see what the market wants to give us for tomorrow. So it's coming up here to 4:45. I'm going to shut it down and be grateful for the profits. Nice long recap, a little bit of live trading, a lot going on today. I'm going to try to rest up, be back at it tomorrow. I've been sitting down around 7, you know, these last couple days. There hasn't been a lot of action that early. AMTD started to open up around like 7:30. So 7's, it's been a little on the early side, but had some moves at 5 a.m. and then it kind of came back up around 7. But at that time, I was still like not really into it until it really started to open up here, which was between 8 and 9, 8 and 8:30. So that's when it really got exciting. So I don't know. I'll probably sit down around 7, maybe 7:15. I don't know, but well, you know, something like that, and then I'll be here until things cool off and tell me it's time to go home. it's a bit unusual for me to have small gains pre-market and big gains in the afternoon. In fact, it's very unusual. But as it turns out, you know, that's just what we've had these last couple days. And it's kind of a pattern. If you recall, a couple months ago, we were in this pattern of like big squeezes, like around 1 p.m. It was like a couple weeks. It was like every single day. It was like, here's the 1 p.m. squeeze. What is going on? Or like 10 a.m. false, like breakout flush. And it felt like it was like clockwork. And I think that it is a little bit of traders just kind of get into this headspace of like, oh, this is what's happening. This is what I should expect. And that becomes a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy. So right now we're in a little bit of a groove where we're having some afternoon momentum. Not ideal for European traders, I suppose, but great for, well, you know, it's just different, whatever. It's fine. Nice on HSDT. So that one's up 140%. It's going without me. I missed it. A little on the cheaper side from 80 cents up to $1.40. That was a micro pullback there at 140. Goes up to a high of 193. I know a lot of traders that like these low price stocks because you can take big share size, and if they rip 50 cents or $1, all of a sudden you're looking at a pretty big winner. I sort of feel in some ways the opposite, because taking big share size costs me more money in terms of commissions because of my routing. But you know, in any case, so now that's up 200%. This is still front side of the move right here. You've got a candle back here that was 257 and then a pullback. There's 247 on the ask, and then 255. 255 on the ask, 260. So, you know, you can see how easily you can kind of get sucked back in, and then you're thinking, oh, should I break the ice and take a trade? But I don't even see news on this, but is there news that was posted after hours? I don't know. So your high right there is 67 now, new highs. 250% gain. Feels like topping out a little bit up there at 270. Now you've got a bit of a topping tail candle forming. So left a little money on the table there, but I'm gonna finish at my personal high of day, and I'll be grateful for that. So that's it for me. Again, those who watch this on YouTube, make sure you check out the link to join Day Trade Dash, and that's going to be email invitation only. We're sending out email invites for that. And then I will be back at it first thing tomorrow morning. I'll do the morning show around the usual time, and I'll be streaming earlier for Warrior and Dash members. So we'll see you guys in the morning, and hopefully what we've seen here this afternoon and this evening is a continuation, or it will be continued tomorrow. It's certainly a continuation of current momentum, but hopefully it continues into tomorrow and we see some more of this type of action. I feel like it's a little easier right now than it was pre-market. Perhaps more traders watching later in the day right now than we had early, just because of this trend of afternoon momentum. Maybe the moves on MTC and MDAI and APDN just got more traders kind of off the fence and watching, like HSDT when it hit the scanners and quick to jump in. I'm not sure, but nice action for sure. All right, so that's it for me. I'm gonna lock it up. Green day, reminder as always, trading is risky and my results are not typical. Those who stream on YouTube, we do run ads on the channel, so the YouTube feed is slightly delayed. You should always remember that and never try to blindly follow me or anyone else. That's not a recipe for success. You've got to learn the strategy. If you want to learn the strategy, I'm happy to share it with you. I'm happy to teach you the way I trade. Some would say it's risky. Day trading is risky. I'll go ahead and agree with them. But for those that want to learn, I think it does make sense to learn, at least from someone who is proven profitable, and I am. So that's it for me. Ending up tying the day with Jess at about 28,000. Still a bit shy of some of the other traders out there, but a green day, and I'll be back at it tomorrow. All right, that's it for me. Thanks everyone. I'll see you tomorrow.